Bruh.
Yeah.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Friday in Detroit. Seems like these Fridays come really quick. Too quick. Prepare yourself.
For what?
Illness. I predict in the next 3 months, we'll know for sure about aliens.
Okay, QAnon.
No QAnon. No, I'm telling you. They're preparing us right now.
What's up, Uncle Dean?
Dino. What's up, dude? Hope you don't mind me calling you Dino.
Uncle Dean went to the hospital.
Huh?
Uncle Dean went to the hospital for something.
He did?
Yeah.
Is he okay?
I don't know. I think so.
You alright, Dean? How old is Dean?
60s?
Well, when you get to your 60s and your 70s, our hospital visits are routine almost. He was 61 years old. He's still a spring chicken.
Yeah, okay.
Compared to me, what I got, 15 years on him? Yep. 15 big ones. Be surprised the difference that 15 years made.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. The aliens are getting ready to come down here and straighten this shit out.
Yeah, but you think people are going to buy it, or they're just going to murder the people that don't?
No, they're not gonna murder nobody.
Well, you're going to have a lot of people resisting.
Resisting what?
The aliens. Especially the people who already have everything. They're the ones that resist everything now. Change is a problem. You can't do things different. Because if you do things different...
No, but see, the aliens are gonna completely blow all that shit away.
How?
By curing shit. By helping.
Well, then it'll be a false god.
They're gonna have to straighten up some of this shit. Well, you know what?
Christians will never let that shit go. Neither will the Muslims.
You know what? They're gonna have to do something. Because their whole, not bane of existence, I shouldn't say that. But it's like anything else, man, things change, you know?
Yeah, I understand that.
And they just got to go along with the change.
But there's a lot of people in the world that don't want change.
Well, say la vie,
And
motherfucker.
are actively fighting against it now.
We will make an island for them.
Yeah, that'll work.
No clots in, he said he had no clots in his leg. That's good, dude. No clots is good.
We've seen what happens last time we tried to put people on an island.
What happened?
I mean, the Holocaust. When you try to separate people, you try to make them different. Because then they become the ones that are ruining everything.
But see, people are gonna realize a lot of the bullshit that we've been eating. That they can feed to us. They can feed me. I'm glad when I get my teeth. I can't hardly fucking talk.
Our fine talk.
I can. All right, motherfucker.
I know, I heard you. Didn't sound like talking to me.
I know, it's fucked up, man. I gotta wait till the 13th. So they'll be back on the 13th. What the fuck takes so long? I mean, it's 1 tooth. I don't understand.
It's because you're poor.
That way.
Yeah.
You know what? You're probably right.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna disagree with you.
If you had money, you'd already have your teeth.
You're right. If I go down there and slam down a chunk of money, I want them tomorrow. I'd have probably got them tomorrow, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you shouldn't take this long to fix shit. That shit's minor as fuck. I should have just took couldn't find that the little piece of tooth. I could have found out put some super glue on it and stuck it back up in that motherfucker.
I don't know if that would have worked.
It would work temporarily.
Yeah. For a minute, I guess.
It would have been some tip shit. Do you have anybody else on here this morning? No, just Steve. That's good enough.
So I just finished Ted Lasso.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Oh man, that's the best show I've ever seen.
It's the best show you've ever seen.
It's so good. The comedy is so well written, so empathetic and everything. It's like, I don't want to say, for one, there's a lot of people out there who aren't going to like it because they're going to be like, oh, trying to teach me something. It's like, well, if you really look at what they're saying as, oh, it's something not good, then you've got a problem. You should be
What are they teaching?
How to be empathetic.
How to be empathetic.
Okay, here's an example. Guy, one of the episodes about this football player who hasn't come out yet, right? I mean, you know he hasn't come out. It's been part of the whole story. Like, it's in there. You know that he's gay, but no one else knows he's gay.
Okay.
And then you find out that this other dude who's writing the story on everyone is gay himself and has dealt with that situation, so he wasn't trying to rat out like he was there for the kid. Then something happens where there's a leak, so they're trying to delete all the photos. Like, guy goes, delete everything you have. That way nothing gets stolen. You know, all the women that sent you photos.
Whatever.
You got. Yeah, so they're deleting it all. And the one dude, his best friend's mad because it doesn't feel like he's deleting shit. And he grabs his phone and he sees it's a man and realizes that his friend's gay and storms off. And he reacts in the 1% way that, you know, like he's gonna act. But you come to find out, so what happens is this is all bothering them. They play the football match, and when they're playing the football match, they're not communicating, obviously, because the dude's like still going through it. Like, he's kind of mad looking and dealing with all this shit. So as they're walking off the field, this one guy drops the F-bomb and goes,
Your F.A. bomb?
yes,
Okay.
from the stands. And the one guy hears it and storms into the stands, angry as fuck, and is like about ready to punch the guy. Never hits him, but gets to the point where it looks like he's going to hit him. So he gets red carded and gets thrown out of the game. Right? And it's all because his friend is gay, and you come to find out that he was mad that his friend didn't tell him because he didn't trust him. And it was anger in that sense. And during the press conference, the guy tells the coach comes up and like they ask him obviously about it. They're like, why do you do it? What's his problem? Why? Because he's already got a reputation as like an angry bad guy. So like, what's his deal? Blah blah blah. And then he tells a story about how he had this old timer playing when he was coming up on a smaller team, and the dude was having a baby, and basically he made a joke about it could be someone else's baby, blah 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 blah, and like made some kind of, you know, like I'm fucking your wife type shit.
Yeah.
And the dude beat the shit out of him and got kicked out of the fucking football forever. Like, never got to play again. Well, he met the guy later in a bar and found out that he hadn't told anyone, but the dude had basically, you know, lost the kid in miscarriage.
Whoa.
So he was still dealing with that inside. He hadn't trusted his team or nothing like that, so he didn't tell anyone. He just exploded. And the same thing happened with the other guy, because the guy was upset that his friend didn't trust him. He didn't know how to take it. He felt like because of that there was a break in trust. You've been lying to me this whole time. Why wouldn't you tell me I'm your best fucking friend? We've been through all this shit together. What the fuck? And it was that anger that came out when the guy said the F word, because he wanted to protect his friend, who he knew was gay, but no one else did. And then eventually he tells everyone. And it's not, obviously no one gives a fuck, because most people don't. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't give a shit. So, but that was kind of the whole premise was, like, you don't know what the fuck the person, like, someone could have a really bad day and make a really bad mistake, and you don't know why. It could have been nothing to do with anything that happened in the moment that it happened. It could have been something that's been building for years. It could have been something that's building for days. It could have been anything. So to try to understand is a better way to deal with it than just blame and point fingers and shit like that.
Right.
That's kind of the whole premise of that. Because again,
the episode.
the whole thing, like the first season is he's a coach that doesn't belong there, and he's really nice, and he wins everyone over, and he helps change everyone to better. Like shows them that you don't have to be this shitty person, you can be a nice person and still get ahead. And then the second season's him coming to grips with his problems, and the fact that all his niceness not all of it, but his over niceness, his problem where he's a little too much, all comes from the fact that he's deflecting his own problems that he was dealing with when he was a kid. Shit that happened to him when he was young. His dad killed himself when he was a kid. He found his dad after he just shot himself. So like, but he never got to deal with that properly. He never went to therapy. They bring him to therapy because he has a panic attack on the field. Like he's playing in the Premier League match, and he runs off the fucking field because he's having a fucking panic attack. Like first time in his life. And basically then it sneaks out and it becomes this big thing because, no one talks about it over there or over here. That's just not real type shit. So it was like, that was the whole second season, is everyone coming to understand that there are ways you can deal with these problems. You just have to actually try.
You have to deal with it.
Yeah, you have to deal with it. So then the third season's just...
I never understood the gay thing anyway.
What do you mean?
Why would it make anybody any difference whether you made love to a woman or a man?
A lot of that has to do with your own insecurities.
They're insecurity because they think you're gay?
No, not even if you think you're gay.
What's the insecurity? That's the point I'm talking about.
Okay.
What's the insecurity?
You know, one of the reasons why women hate being goggled and foxtrotted and foxcalled? Because it makes you feel very uncomfortable. It makes you feel like everything you have to do has to be perfect, or you're going to be criticized and judged, because you are obviously being judged by them whistling at you and hooting at you as you're walking by minding your business. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That type of shit. Women don't like that shit because it makes them feel fucking uncomfortable. They're minding their own fucking business, and next thing you know, I'm a piece of meat to you. That's what makes regular heterosexuals insecure about homosexuals in a way, I think, is because they have that concern. They have that thought in their head, what if this dude's judging me? What if this dude's eyeballing me? What if this dude rapes me? What if this dude won't fucking leave me the fuck alone and starts doing all the stuff that dudes do? Now again, I don't think that's something that's in front of mind. You get what I'm saying? That's not the actual thoughts going through their head, but the insecurities stem from that. Stem from the reality that they're not secure in themselves, in the sense that they can take, like, because there's women that don't give a shit about hooting and hollering because they just don't give a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? But most people aren't like that. Most people aren't you.
See, a lot of people let exterior things bother them.
Yeah,
there are a lot of exterior things that really they shouldn't let bother them.
Yeah, I know.
Because if you know your path, I guess a lot of them don't know their path.
Again, you've never been insecure. You've never had a moment in your life where you've lived 10, 5, fucking an hour. Yeah, I'm sure you've had hours where you weren't secure. There was moments where you probably were in a situation where you felt a little uneasy. But insecurity is different than uneasiness. Insecurity is the inability to see yourself as you truly are. To always see yourself less than what you think you are. What you actually are. To never actually see the real you. And even if you do, it's never going to be good enough anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a thought that, because again, my insecurity stems from the fact that I never was able to please my dad. Like, that's basically it. I never made him happy when I was young, and then my mom dies, and one person who actually gave me love disappears. So I have no one to give me any kind of love or confirmation that I'm actually right. All the confirmation I would get was negative. So it was always, you're the problem. And again, he has that mindset. He's a Republican in the sense that, pull yourself up from the bootstraps, you're the issue, shit's happening to you.
Yeah, life is crazy.
Well, life is way more complicated than that. And on top of that, no one pulls themselves up from the bootstraps. Every person that's rich, I guarantee you got something from somebody without, you know what I'm saying, got a loan, whatever it may be.
But they were born
Into it,
yeah,
whatever. And again, even if there's someone who wasn't, they happen to get a job where the boss paid them enough money that they could actually live and fucking save.
And progress, yeah.
Yeah. Because most of my life I've been paying 50% of my fucking income every month to rent. If not 75%, depending on the place.
Yeah.
And the job.
Yeah.
And it wasn't any other choice. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it. I mean, I could get roommates, but my roommate, then you gotta trust other people, and then you're dealing with the fact that who knows what could happen, which happened a lot. I expected people to give me money, and then they don't give me money. Now I'm fucked because I don't have enough money to pay the fucking rent.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out how to do it constantly.
Dean is making chocolate.
Good for him. I don't know. What, like, one side will literally tell you you sound like a whiny baby. And it's fucking annoying, because the reality is most of the people, like, Elon Musk is not a billionaire because he's fucking smart. He's a billionaire because his dad gave him some fucking money and he made some lucky bets. There's a ton of
I
other
did some research on him yesterday.
Oh, he's
I did about an hour worth of things he said, things he's done that I didn't even know about.
He's a white nationalist. He's a
he's without a
good slave labor would definitely be a thing.
He's without a doubt on the wrong path.
Yeah.
You know, and he'll
I don't think he's ever been on the right path.
well, I mean, when he was an innocent kid, he might have been.
There's no, again, yeah, you're right. I see again. That's another thing too.
Our society makes us who we are.
Well,
We're fine until society starts fucking with us. I'm serious. We're all fine until society starts telling us what's right, what's wrong, what's left, and what's down, and what's up. Because when you have no knowledge of racism, when you don't know what it is and never been affected by it, it's nothing. You know, you don't even think about it.
oh, I know. Trust me. I lived in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I didn't. Again, the black kid was actually revered because he was. No, there wasn't. People didn't because he had been there his whole life. His family had always been there. It wasn't like he was some new kid coming to town and made things different. And they weren't coming in droves because that's where the elders, the fucking boomers, and the group before them would get. The problem is when you get one's fine.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Now there's five.
There's five.
I gotta go.
Then they move next door to me.
Oh
no.
shit! I gotta go. And it's like,
Why is that class so much taller than all the others?
oh,
That one right here.
these two have been, those two have been in here longer.
Why do you say two? Is two plants?
No, there's this one and this one.
Oh yeah, I'm talking the one up here in front.
They're the same height. This one just hasn't been trimmed.
Oh, okay.
But look, they're the same height.
Oh, okay.
But especially with the fact that these ones have been, I pushed these back an extra 10 days because they were really small. So I'd let them kind of catch up.
Catch up.
And these ones are 10 days behind those.
Oh, okay.
But, so I don't know. I think Ted Lasso was a great show. I think The Good Place was a great show.
I saw that before. The Good Place, I've seen that before. I've seen maybe about 6 or 7 episodes of that.
Anything that helps you kind of see the world in a different way than the world we see normally. But, I mean, kindness wins all. It always has. It's just, kindness wins the war. The fucking violence wins the day. And most people live by the day.
Especially Americans.
Yeah, especially Americans. And then there's a reason, because we come from people who didn't want to pay their fair share. We come from people who thought they were, a bunch of rich, a combination of rich fucks and people who were used by the rich fucks, pretending like they wanted something new when all they wanted was the power that they couldn't get in their other country.
Yeah, it's weird, man. The history of the world is really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
The reason why it's really fucked up is because we don't fucking know any of it.
Yeah.
We only know,
What they let us.
what, 5% if we're lucky?
if we're lucky.
Of not even what they let us, just the shit that's disappeared over time because everything goes away. You know how hard it is to hold on to information? Think about that. You have to do one of two things. You have to put it down on paper or stone, and then you have to hope that that paper or stone doesn't get destroyed by something. Because again, if you take a book or you take a piece of stone and you put it somewhere, at some point something's going to destroy it. Whether it's an animal, whether it's
nature or whatever.
Nature, whatever it is,
another man.
it's going to get destroyed unless you protect it. So information is extremely hard to keep going. Because again, if you have...
Well, you're not getting all the information anyway.
Well,
when I think about in the last 10 years, all the things I've learned about my race that wasn't taught to me in school is amazing.
There's a reason for that.
It's totally amazing. When I find out the things that black inventors have invented that I never knew about. No one educated me. Oh, they told me about, who was that guy, Booker T. Washington, and what's the other one they told me about? Who was the peanut guy?
George Carver Washington.
Yeah. But that's all we learned about black history.
Yeah, I know.
When I was in school. Well, they definitely not gonna teach you shit like that. They can help it. But when I find out all this other stuff, I'm like, what the fuck? It's a whole, man, I've been doing research on crazy the last couple of months. And this America thing is a bitch. It really is, man. The amount of misery. I should just say American, Europeans and Americans. The amount of misery they've caused around the world is unbelievable. It's absolutely unfucking believable that some people could be so cruel and treat people that are harmless so bad. I mean, the stuff the Catholic Church has done around the world, it's unbelievable that people still want to be Catholic. It blows my mind.
I mean,
it totally blows my mind, man. It's ridiculous. And they just recently found out 3,000 more people were abused by these priests. I'm like, what the fuck?
oh yeah. I know. It's like, you're mad at...
Why are people still going to... First of all, why are black people even going to any kind of Christian church to begin with? Blows my mind.
I mean,
black people have been very thoroughly brainwashed.
I mean, humans are easily brainwashed.
I mean, thoroughly brainwashed to the point where they're worshiping something that's really not real for them. But they've been indoctrinated.
You think it's real for other people?
Well, I wasn't talking about other people.
I'm just saying. It's not real for anybody, but they still believe it. The Mexicans don't get no benefit from it.
And they're starting.
Neither do white people.
The Filipinos.
The only white people that get benefit from it are the people in charge.
The Filipinos, they are so brainwashed, it's unbelievable.
Well, yeah.
You know, and it's pitiful.
Because
the Catholic Church,
shit and they promise them shit.
They love the Catholic Church, and they're in abject poverty, and the Catholic Church ain't doing shit about it.
No, the Catholic Church is actually making them. Keeping them in abject poverty.
Yeah. They go, oh, I gotta go to church. I gotta always go to church.
That's not crazy.
And always, you know, not complaining. That's one thing I must say about them. They don't complain. Not complaining, but not seeing the injustice of what's happened to her and her people, you know.
Not complaining is a sign of
all being brainwashed,
yeah.
you know. Yeah, the whole church thing, I'm not so glad of. I put it that way. I'm trying to be modest in my complaint.
Well, Uncle Dean's an Odin guy.
He's the what?
He's an Odin guy.
Odin?
Yeah, he's all about the pagan shit.
Yeah. Here.
And you know me, I don't give a fuck about anything. None of it can be proven until you die. So, what's the point of worrying about it?
But you don't die.
Sure?
You don't die. It's just a transfer of energy.
Okay.
You don't die.
I don't think
I mean, the body dies.
It's just
Don't get me wrong. The body in this existence may die, but
You know what was one of the hardest things about the depression when I was dealing with it back in the day?
what was
One of
that?
the hardest thoughts was heaven. I couldn't understand how you could, like, I didn't want to feel like that for eternity. Like, no.
Yeah,
Like, there's no way. I don't want to do this for eternity.
yeah.
This isn't fun. Like, even if I get everything I want, it's still not going to be enough for eternity. It's one of the reasons, like, The Good Place turned out the way it did. Like, the premise is that they this one demon decides that he wants to trick him and torture him by pretending it's a good place.
Right.
And just constantly giving them things that
Yeah.
mentally torture them.
Yeah.
And then they find out every time they realize they're in a bad place. And then it turns out that no one goes to a good place because even the guy, like the dude that figured it out back in the day, there's this guy that figured it out.
Yeah.
Even him, who lives his life by eating radishes, which are the least carbon footprint thing on the planet, and walking everywhere and donating like he gives everything away.
Yeah.
He's the most selfless person on the planet. He won't get it.
Yeah.
Because it's so convoluted on how intertwined the world is now that you can't do anything without causing chaos somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just how it works. So no one's getting in. So they have to change everything. And then they get into the good place and they realize that everyone's a fucking zombie. Because everyone's been in there for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And they're all fucking bored as shit and they just become zombies because they run out of shit to do. So they have to make this other door, which is just a door where no one knows what happens.
When you go through it.
No, you don't know what happens. You just go give yourself back to the universe. And you can choose to go through whenever you want. Once you get into the good place. You just have to earn your way into the good place. They figured that they also figured out humans can change. There's a whole fucking series on morality.
Yeah.
So they change, blah, blah, blah. Then you can decide to go, which then gives people purpose again. Gives people the fear, not the fear, but the reality that nothing's permanent.
But see, after you die, or transfer energy, I should say, instead of death, do you remember the other?
No. I think the memories stay with the brain. I don't know. You were out of your body. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So maybe it all connects to the soul, or there's a giant.
But I had an out of the body experience, but I didn't have a death experience.
So you were
I think it's different.
Maybe.
Oh no, it is. It's different. It's not the same thing. I think my experience was a teaching moment, not a fatal moment. You know, when you die, that's done. You know.
Yeah, I get that.
So you can have an out of body experience without dying. Is what I'm saying.
No, I get that. But would it be the same? Because again,
No, it's not the same.
what's his name? Ozzy had near-death experiences, like died. He said, talk to his parents. And his parents told him it wasn't his time.
Right. That's different from what happened to me.
Oh, I know. You left your body.
I left my
and flew
body
around the world.
and I saw other.
So in other words, you think death is different in the sense that you transcend to a different plane.
Mm-hmm.
You don't stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you do, it's your...
No, you don't stay here. No. In fact, here is really not. How can I phrase this? Here is not really here. It's there.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Maybe you don't.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to... I mean,
yeah.
I understand.
It's hard to describe because you have to go through the experience to really understand.
Well,
And I still don't.
I don't know what I did last time I did mushrooms, but I definitely felt like I was out in a different place at times.
And some psychedelics.
But it wasn't
to give you an idea.
But it wasn't here.
Yeah.
No. You say an idea. When I say, I don't know, because again, you're right. I never left the fucking. Because as soon as I open my eyes, I'm back. So it's like I never left.
And you were never paralyzed. You weren't paralyzed, right?
What do you mean paralyzed?
See, I was paralyzed.
No, that's not what I mean.
I couldn't.
You're right, but at the same time, everything was so intense, I couldn't comprehend. It was more like, it was different. I didn't leave my body. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like I left my body and I moved on to the next plane or went to this place. It was
more of an emotional thing.
Yeah, like eyes are closed.
Yeah.
Let's try to leave the body. I'm in my breath.
So you were trying to do it.
I was trying to, and every time it would be like so much information to a point where it was not hurting my head, but scaring my body to the point where panic would start to come in. But then I breathe in and I come to these moments of clarity, of weightlessness. And then, okay, let's go. Try to, and then, no. Like, it just wouldn't let me do it.
Yeah.
And again, at that time,
because basically,
I might not have come back.
Well, basically, deep down inside, you are fighting not you are fighting it, but
the ego.
A purpose, yeah, right.
The ego.
A purpose inside of you is fighting it because it doesn't want to leave. But the other power is so more powerful than the negative that you leave and you experience a serenity that you've never experienced before. Nothing hurts you. You don't feel pain. You don't feel happiness. You don't feel none of that. You feel everything.
I did that.
And nothing at the same time.
One of my first real experiences on mushrooms was that. I didn't leave my body, but because again, raised as a Christian, going to like, mom dies, dad says go to church. That's where you'll find your answers. So what does church teach you? Heaven and hell. And again, I'm never making the right choice throughout childhood. I'm never good enough. So what am I going to end up?
Well, you're just a child.
Well, I've already made bad choices. I've already made a bunch of young, stupid choices. So I'm already going to hell.
But all children do that.
Again, as a child, you can't understand this. Especially when your fucking brain is wrecked from the shit that happened when I was a kid.
Around you, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm a perfectly healthy kid, I've got both parents, nothing is wrong, and I'm going through this issue. No. I had problems when I was before my mom died.
Gotcha.
But my brother had died before that. So again, brother doesn't die with, or doesn't come out with spina bifida. You know what I'm saying? Things are different. Who the fuck knows? Maybe I don't do those things that I did as a child that made me feel guilty or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Anyways.
What's up, kind of love?
The point is, I don't remember.
We got kind of deep over here this morning. Who is this? Blunt?
Blunts in real shit one-on-one. Got that real chill news we take back in the days. Cantaloupe, not love. Cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe?
Cantaloupe. Oh, that's what it was. So, on mushrooms, I'm in my basement at the other place. Remember my place in the 8 Mile area? You never went there, I don't think, but no, probably not. And it's the one that everything got stolen.
Okay.
So I'm down there in my basement and I'm tripping on mushrooms, and I think I felt I understood that the universe was this. In that moment, there was nothing else but love. Like, I know it sounds hippie as shit, but it's the only word that we have that explains it. And there was no other thing in the universe. All the other stuff comes from this thing.
Yeah.
meat bag.
Yeah, it's the meat bag.
Well, the meat
I like
bag wants to stay alive, so it's gonna do everything it can to stay alive, even if it makes you do stupid shit.
Okay,
that
I'm
you
not
should do.
about to read all of that.
Oh,
shit. It's so little, I'm not even gonna try.
A heroic and appealing trooper named Bella was helping a client conquer Mount Everest when he came across a distressed climber with one of his nose in the death zone. When the man was discovered, he was shivering from extreme cold and struggling to breathe. The watch was in the death zone. Gigi stopped the climb short to strap the Malaysian man on his back and carry him back to safety. That's awesome. And the guy made a full recovery. DP, dirt and poison.
Okay.
What strain you all smoking on? We were smoking on, oh, he says dirt and poison is what he's smoking on. We were smoking on, I think it was OG 18. But, alright, folks. That's it. Damn, 36 minutes. I only wanted to go 30.